I am excited because look at this lusciousness in front of you. What is all this for, you might be asking? Where's your digital kits, Diane? I've decided that I wanted to do one of the challenges in 2025. There's a few that are out there, and I've done challenges in the past. The most current one right now is the 100-day project, the 100-day project challenge, yeah, where you do some kind of art for 100 days. And I have done that. When did I do it? I'm going to give you some examples. I did it back in, let's see, what year is this? 22. In 2022, what I decided to do was do the 100-day project, and I committed to making a 4x6 index card with tabs on them, one every day for 100 days. Well, what was my topic going to be? And in 2022, my word of the year was hope. And so I picked out 100 hope verses, and every day I did one. Aren't these just gorgeous? This is such a fun project. So I already know that I can do something long term. So that's one from 2022, I just said. Then way back, we're going to go back to, what year is this? Oh my gosh, I know I have the year on this stack. Hold on. 2018. Okay, see this? Can you kind of see this? Look at this. This is the 365-day project. Yes, Diane did this. These were ATC cards, and I did one every day for an entire year in 2018. And you have to understand that that was actually a huge accomplishment for me, because that was the year that my daughter was killed. My oldest daughter was killed in a car accident in August of 2018. So after that happened, this was very hard for me to finish this project because I was very depressed. It was so sad to lose my daughter. So, but I did it. And so I'm showing you, see, I can even do a whole year project. These were little ATC cards, right? And let me see. Basically what I did was I played with all my mixed media techniques. And so I cut up watercolor paper. That's what I used for these. And I tried to do a faith one every day, like your grace abounds in deepest waters. These are really fun to do, these little tiny pieces of art. One a day, that's a difficult challenge. I'll just be honest with you. Like here, be a difference maker. Some of them were not overtly faith-based, do more than exist, forever love. I would cut out words out of magazines or anything that came to my house where I saw the words, stuff like that. And so anyway, here's a 365 project. Let's put that one away. See, what I kept it on was one of those bead chains. What's another project that I've done? Okay, I did 40 Things to Not Give Up for Lent. This is an excellent book if you've never read it, because Lent, I think, starts in a week. This is by Phil Ressler and Penny Adler over at Visual Faith Ministry, which I used to be on their board, leadership board. I retired a year ago. Back in 2023, I did this. So this was 40 days of Lent. So this one was actually easy because he gave you 40 things to not give up. What does that even look like, right? So don't give up your faith, right? And on the back, I ended up writing what I learned from his daily Bible study. Don't give up hope, right? Don't give up love. Don't give up Jesus, because it's all about that. So there's another time that I've done a project like that. And then most recently, from my junk journaling perspective, I did Junk Journal July, last July, which you've seen me flip through this. This is totally junk journaling. And so that's 31 days. Then I did Junk Journal January. I actually did it 2024. I didn't grab it. And then I just finished it in January of this year. So it's another, junk journal type of a thing. But I missed Hold on. And then I've also done, I wrote this and did this for 21 days in November of 24, 21 reasons to praise him. So this is where we use Psalm 145, and every day for 21 days, we looked at that particular line, like 145:7, and did some junk journaling and also Bible study. So I've done that one. And last year in the spring, I got together with some other junk journalers, and we created the Peace of God study, which was actually 7 weeks. That was all junk journaling also. So you might have seen me showing you this. Okay. So I love junk journaling, and that part's really great. But I miss, because I've been a mixed media faith artist for 20 years, I missed doing the textural and the little pieces of art. So you've heard me talk about Shanuki art over on YouTube. And this is her 3rd year. For 2 years, she has done the full deck challenge. And she has taken a deck of cards. And of course, there's 52 cards plus 2 extras always in a deck. And she does 1 card a week. As I looked at what could I get involved in 2025, I thought, you know what? This would give me that little taste on a weekly basis of doing my mixed media art. And won't overwhelm me, and I can keep up with all my other junk journaling things and Bible studies that I do. And so it started in January. I'm just starting now, so we're on week 10, I think, probably. But anyway, she gives you one quick prompt, like the first prompt in January was red, okay? And if you want to go look at, the link is in the description. And so I sat there the other day once I decided to do it and started going through all my stash, and I picked out lots of fabric. I have all these little leftover pieces of fabric from my friend who's a quilter. And so I started with the fabric, then I went through my buttons and all my other little things. I was just looking for colors for right now. So I've got the basis for that. I also ordered a special deck of cards because she is in Australia and she gets an Australian brand. And I looked into buying it. And yes, you can buy it on Amazon, but it takes over a month. Obviously, it's coming from Australia. So I picked this bicycle set that I got off of Amazon. And the reason I bought a new deck of cards is because I've got lots of cheap cards from Dollar Tree. But she talked about when you're doing mixed media that they're real shiny. And so you have a hard time. You got to do a lot of prep to add paint and things like that. So I ordered a linen finish. And so it's matte. Basically, it's not really, it's not shiny at all. And so I got this deck. So I am getting ready to start. Now, of course, if you know me, well, you're getting to know me, Diane does not do any project that does not have a faith component. So if I did this project, the question to myself was, well, how am I going to bring in my faith? So here's what I decided to do. My word for this year kind of is 2 words, but it's my focus. To rely on God for everything. Okay, that sounded good, 8 weeks ago, and it's good. And I've been practicing that. And I decided, well, wait, if I'm going to do this fun project with Shanuki art and the thousands of women that are doing it, I'm going to have a faith-based component. And so what I did was I went and searched, and I'm getting 52 verses about relying on God. And so I went ahead and typed them up, and this is just plain white paper. And my plan is that I will follow her prompts for the quote, the front of the card, which, yeah, okay. She says it's really fun if you can leave the suit, the number, right, on the front whenever you're doing your design. And then on the back of all my cards, I'm going to cut out my Bible verse, and I am going to attach it to the back of the card, and I'm going to do a quick little Bible study. So that's just like 1 day a week. I can totally do that, right? So this is just the start, and I'm going to start filming myself. I'm not going to make this a long video. I'm going to film me making some of these pieces to catch up with where everyone is. And I'm not pushing myself. If I get it done, fine. If I don't get it done in a week or whatever, because it's once a week, I can always catch up. And so you'll be seeing me post at least 1 day a week. I don't know what day it'll be yet because her prompts come in on Thursdays for the next week. and then she shows you the video, and you get the next week's prompt by watching that week's video. There is no list, so you can't go and print it. So if you're interested in participating in this with me and making it a Faithart project, watch her very first video. It's the first video of this year, 2025, when she explains the kind of cards to use and what she does, and then you'll see her do like her red one. Then the list, the rules kind of show up in the second video, which is the orange, where she gives you the prompt was orange. And then you can just really jump in on this with us. Now, I'm going to include those in here in my description, but she's the leader of the project, so I definitely encourage you to go watch that. And so let's go to the next step. I've had a chance to play, and so I thought I would show you what I have accomplished so far. So the actual week for the Full Deck Challenge 3 is on week 10. Obviously, I started late, so I wasn't going to do more than one, and then it's actually fun when you start doing collage. So I thought I would show you what I did. Now, the rules for this, let me just go over what her rules were. You were supposed to carry over one item from the previous card to a new card. I've done that a couple times, but not every time. Use one item as a constant throughout the challenge. I think what my item is going to be is fabric, because I went and got all my fabric pieces out, and I'm enjoying the fabric as well as the paper. So that's going to be my constant. And then allow your number and the suite to show somewhere on the card. So the first week was red, and pulling together all my fun red things. I actually had fun making this. So there's a lot of fabric. There's some, pieces. When you're doing tiny collage like this, you start out with a pile. See this pile over here? And then of course you're breaking it down to make it like really small. And I'm so happy that I finally got to use this paper flower, because I've had this probably for 20 years. And I added a little bulb pin with the cherries on there. I just thought that was great. Now, what Diane is doing is Diane is turning this into a faith challenge, as I mentioned. And because I'm going to commit to doing one card a week, and what I'm committing also, this is all to myself, obviously, is that my word for this year, as I mentioned, was God-reliant. So I went ahead and printed 52 Bible verses that all refer me to relying on God. And so I've made them small enough to fit on the back of each of my card. So that's where my time with God is coming about, because I've printed the verse, and I'm also looking it up and doing a little Bible study and doing some prayer for each verse. I date my cards for the actual date that I'm making them, which of course is late, but it doesn't really matter. And then I just write on there what the prompt was. So that's number one. Well, when I finished number one, I had all this stuff left over in a pile, and my girlfriend was here. We were having a craft day, and she said, well, why don't you just make a tag? And I went, oh, that's a great idea, because I have extra stuff. So what I've started to do is I've made the playing card, which is an ATC size. ATC means artist trading cards, and all playing cards are 2.5 by 3.5. And then I took a small manila tag, and I just kept the same theme, used the leftover. See this ticket, there's the other part of the ticket. So I just put it on there instead of throwing it back in a bin and then going, well, what am I going to do with all this stuff now? So I'm going to have a tag, which I can put into anything. I can put Bible verses on the back. So there's the first week, red. Second week was orange. And yeah, this was fun. Again, I had some tickets. I don't know where I got all these colored tickets, but I got those. This is a piece from Temu, and just found some old buttons and, put that together. And so my second week, I should read to you what my verse was. Let's read the verses today. First week, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. How true is that? That just means that being God-reliant means I rely on God, not what man tells me, like somebody in authority tells me, but relying on what God says. So my verse for the second week is, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength. And boy, that's a really powerful one, isn't it? That if I want to be strong, I have to be strong in God, and I can only be strong in God if I rely on Him and His Word and His promises to me. So here's my orange card, and then here's my orange tag. I didn't put any ruffles on the top. I guess I need to go over there and get it. And then my girlfriend gave me, her mom used to save all the stamps, and so she had a giant bag, and well, she has a gigantic amount, and she gave me a huge bag of canceled stamps. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and pull all those out. And then some old, flowers that I've had from forever, and buttons put together. Okay, number 3 was yellow. And this is actually a piece from my Ultimate Ephemera kit. And I like that there was a little bit of yellowy, orangey yellow, but that's okay because I got to put Jesus' name on the card on the front. So my verse for this week is the one that I can recite without having to read, right? Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all my heart and do not lean on my own understanding. Absolutely. That's actually one of my life verses that I've tried to follow and live by for the last almost 30 years. So there's my yellow. There's my other yellow. So this is all fabric in the background. And then you know what this is? Do you buy lemons and they come in one of those mesh bags? I kept the bag. And so it's been fun using, that in my art also. Okay, number 4. Number 4 was light green. I really liked this one. I think this was actually kind of fun. At first I was having a problem finding light green fabric. Like this is probably more blue than green, but it's okay. So what's my verse for this week? We can never look to men for help. No matter who they are, they cannot save us. You're right. There is only one person that saves, and that is Jesus Christ. And when I call on Him as my Savior and my Lord, I am saved. And that means I know where I'm going. So that's number 4, was just light green. And then I made a tag with the leftover things that I had. And then she went to dark green for week 5. And this was fun. I've had this for probably 15 years also. I have just never ever used it. So I was glad. I'm like, it's green. I'm sticking it on here. Pulled out some of the canceled stamps, and added fun things on there. So my verse for week 5 is, we speak not as pleasing men, but God who examines our hearts. That's 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 4. And then my green tag, I used one of the butterflies and some other little fun pieces that I had. So on week 5, I was running out of dark green fabric. So I had to pull in some paper, and I had to stamp some paper because all I had was a piece of dark green. So number 6, I thought I would show you how to do this, but it's going to be an unusual one because the prompt for 6 is light blue, but she wanted you to, quote, be free. Be free from this sense. I didn't video making these. I'll show you. I'm going to video this, and then I'll show you when, quote, I'm not being free. What I did on all these is basically I auditioned pieces. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like, and then we're not going to do it on 6. Basically, it's, okay, I like that piece. I'm going to put that there. And then I like this piece, and I'm just doing this fast to show you what I say about auditioning. Okay, what other? Well, I have to put fabric on, Diane, because that's my constant. So I tried to rip and fray all my fabric because I really liked that. Okay, that one would go. Let's see. Now you see how I'm sitting here like going, oh, I like this, I like that. Being free is, you're going to watch me, I'm not going to audition all this. I'm just going to start gluing that's what be free meant to her. There's my little parts. Let's see. Should we put some of this on? So light blue, I don't know. Is that light blue or medium blue? Yeah, whatever. Okay, we've got that. So now I'm going into a little bit medium blue, I guess. I think this is too dark. I think I'm going to put that in the dark blue pile. Let's use a piece of paper, which I could use. There's another kind of blue-gray color. But you see how I'm fitting things on? And that's basically what she said, don't do this week, okay, to try to just glue it. So I'm going to show you. Yes, I'm auditioning, but that doesn't mean I'm really paying attention to where I'm putting stuff. Okay, that would be auditioning. Then I would take all this off and glue it on. That's the way I made all these cards. So now I'm going to show you what being free is. And basically, I put glue all over. And I just glue. I'm not thinking. And see, I don't even remember what I just did. So I'm being free for sure. Let's see. I'm just putting stuff down. I love collage, even if it's collage with fabric. Yes, that's even cool. Now I have to be careful here because I don't want to cover up my 6. And I don't want to cover up the spades. Okay. Let's put this piece up here. Okay, I think I'll trim stuff off afterwards. And let's see, how about that there? Yep. Here, we'll just stick that on there. Let's stick that there. So in the comments, let me know if you are interested in doing this challenge. As I said, this is from Shanuki Art. This is not me. Now I'm going to start adding some paper. I think it's fun. If you're not a real collage, like you haven't done a lot of collage, this would be a great opportunity for you to play with collage. I think collage really flexes your creativity muscles because you're just putting stuff together, and you can see what I'm doing. I'm just adding stuff, right? I'm not paying attention. But it just gives you it's free. That's the word I'm trying to get. It actually is free. When she said be free this time, I think collage is freeing overall because there's no right, wrong. There's no have to. There's no perfection. Okay? It's just, you just do it. Okay, that part's cool. So let's trim the card. So if you're not going to do the challenge, which is perfectly fine, are you a collage person? Do you do collage? Have you done fabric collage or just paper collage? Okay, that looks good. And I really like this, but I'm thinking it might be too big. But now it looks like I'm probably auditioning, so I have to be careful. Or do we want to go with ice cream? Ice cream kind of might be even more fun. Uh-oh, I'm auditioning. Okay, this is actually harder than I thought then. Because I am auditioning stuff. I don't know how to not do that. Okay, we could do that. But did I want this flower on there? That's going to cover up everything. I think it's too big. And is that really blue? That's more green. Okay, well, let's see. We could combine these two. So that could be. So you're not going to see a great one, I think, because I'm supposed to be just collaging. Oh, actually, okay, look, I can deal with that. It's not the best, but if I'm supposed to just be putting stuff down, then that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to lay that on there, put this under there. We'll leave that little butterfly on the side. I like that little curve on the side. And then this one can go on top of there. But I think I want to add just some string, like in a bunch. And this is embroidery thread. A friend who used to do a lot of embroidery stopped doing it. And she had a whole bin. And she said, I was going to throw this away. And then I thought, well, wait, you could probably use it. And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So I have a lot of colors. Now the trick is going to be, hold on, I have my hot glue gun. Oh, I don't want to put that on there because it'll be a big blob. That won't work. Let's try this. I'm just trying to figure out how to glue this right now is what I'm trying to do. Let's see if I can put some glue underneath there. I don't need to get a lot of it glued down, just some of it so it'll stay. And then let's put the butterfly on. So this is one of the butterflies from, I think I told you I ordered from Temu, they had like color waves. Like you could get a set of blue, a set of orange, a set of red. And that's what I ordered. And I really like them a lot. So they're that plastic. I don't know what, is it called PET or something? I don't even know what all that means. But, okay. Okay, well, look, I'm pretty happy with that. For the Be Free part, I think it went together pretty good. So do you get that? Did you get that part? So all these things I didn't use, now I got to go put all away, right? But you know what? It's kind of cute. It's layered enough. Now I'm going to just darken the edges. And we'll darken that because I think that will look better. And then I'm going to go forward and make the rest of them. And you can see I'll catch up to probably, I'll finish week 9 and then I'll probably just start, because week 10 would be this week. Then I'll just do the one video for that. Now I like that. I don't like that I didn't curve this. Let's curve that around. That looks much better. There's number 6. Light blue. That worked out great. So here is number 6. I looked at it and realized that a lot of the papers that I was using in the background didn't have any design in them. So I ended up getting out my stamps. And look, that just added, yes, it just added perfectly. And then here's my tag that I made with the leftovers. And I did the same thing, stamping on there. And added my ribbons. So I have to remember that I'm going to add stamps, because I went back and then I stamped on number 3, I stamped on number 2, and the tag. It just gives it more interest. And I stamped on the green, light green, number 4. So I'm happy with that. So what's my verse for the 6th week? That is, we must obey God rather than men. So all of my verses are really pointing me in the direction of, who am I trusting? Who am I obeying? Who am I relying on? Only God and His Word. And to rely on God and His Word means I have to know His Word, which means I have to read His Word. So that is week 6. So number 7, week 7 was dark blue and to be free again. Free was just not auditioning, right? Just laying everything down. I think that actually worked out pretty cool. I'm glad I pulled out this washi tape, which I hardly ever use my washi tapes. This one said be happy on it. So that one on there. And then I did some stamping. And so my verse for week 7 is 1 Corinthians 2:5. So that your faith might not rest in the wisdom of men, but my faith be in the power of God. Absolutely true. And then there's my tag, which actually I kind of like that too. And so on that roll, it says, think happy, be happy. So I used the be happy on this one. And number 8 is finished. Number 8 was, week 8 was purple with white splatters. And if you noticed, I used ink. Now, a lot of people will take acrylic paint and water it down and splash it. You could do that, but I bought white ink a long time ago, but it works so much better. It's quicker and it's always liquid. So there's Daler Rowney and then there's Dr. P.H. Martin. So that's what I was able to do. Now the trick is I had to wait till it dried. And I was able to use a piece of my ephemera kit. That is the Colossal with that gorgeous, the 3 crosses. You can hardly see it. Let me see. There you go. Now you can see it. And then I decided to put a little bit of bling on my flower this time. So week 8, as I said, was purple with white splatters. And my verse for week 8 is from Hebrews 11:6. And without faith, it is impossible to please him. For whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him. So that's my full deck challenge card. And then here's my little tag that I made with my leftovers, which I thought was pretty cute. There's really no room to put stamping. As I just was saying, I did some stamping, especially when you go to the darker colors. The stamping is hard to see. But I'm very pleased with this. And week 9 is done. Now week 9's prompt was pink with black splatters, which you saw me do in the fast forward. I used Bombay India ink. It's just easier for me to do that. And added a little bit of bling and just some fun things. And my wonderful verse for week 9 is Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit, you may abound in hope. This was one of my hope verses from a couple years ago. I just love it. This is just the most powerful verse. Hope is a hard thing when you get older because you have regrets, sad things have happened to you, and having hope can be difficult, but knowing that the power of the Holy Spirit is within me and I can experience joy and peace, I do have hope. And then here's my tag. You saw that one went together pretty quick. You know, once you start doing this, it goes and it's good. So the reason I wanted to reiterate, the reason I made a tag, and I would recommend if you start to sit down and do collage, don't ever collage one thing, because you're wasting all your time and energy. You've gathered things and or you're going through a stack of pile. Put a couple tags out, put a couple cards out. And as you're making one, put some more stuff on another one. And then you have this wonderful ephemera that's handmade that you're ready to go. You can always just add a focal point at the end if you don't even want to finish that. But once you get everything out, it's kind of so wonderful to go ahead and make multiple items at the same time. Now I have that video about collaging tags, the same exact thing. Once you start, you can make 20, 30 tags and you have the basis of some wonderful ephemera. All you have to do then is add some faith to it. And my newest kit that just launched is the tickets kit. And if you want to just add a little snippet, let me grab the kit, a little snippet of faith to something that you're making. They're all cut out. That's why they're sitting in here for right now. I just made 421 tags. So you've got plenty to choose from. Mercy, prayer. So there's a lot. 98% of it is faith. And then there's just some fun vintage ephemera tickets and things like that. But it's a really, really good thing. And that's an easy way to go ahead and add faith. So I'm now caught up with the full deck challenge. I've made it all the way to 9. This week is week 10, so that will be a separate video. And I really hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope I've inspired you. If you haven't done a lot of collage, like I said, I'm a mixed media artist and I've been doing collage for such a long time. I love it, and I love getting back into my mixed media. And the fact that I'm probably going to try and put a lot of these tags into some journals that I'm working on. So see, I would have made them today and then I can stick them in a journal. Please like this video. Your liking my videos gives me so much encouragement on those days when I think I'm so tired. I don't want to make something else. And I just appreciate that a lot. And then obviously I would encourage you again to share my videos. Share this one with somebody. A way to add faith to a year-long challenge by Shanuki Art is to go ahead, as you seen me do, is to go ahead and just pick some Bible verses and stick Bible verses on the back of your card. So see, I'm having fun, right, following a challenge, but I'm also reading God's Word. And I hope that you are subscribed and that you have put the notification bell on so that you will be notified every time I make a video. So till next time, may the God of hope fill you with hope.